anything from the birds. Oh, there we go. Anything from the birds until animals have just gone away. Behema. So how do you know it's 52 years? So behema, fascinating gematria. Behema begematria chamisha neshtayim hava. Behema is a gematria of 52. So that's how you know that there's 52 years. Okay, it's interesting because I would think that behema is just because it's a behema. It's just telling us about behemoths, right? The Tanya Rabbi Yossi, Sheva Shana Niskaima Gofris B'Melach Beretz Yisrael. There was 7 years that there was Gofris and Melach. That's what do you call it? Salt and pitch, whatever. Sulfur, yeah. My time with the Rabbi Yossi. Ask you bris, because it says we have Exer Shav. It says bris. Ksiv hacha v'hig bir bris l'rabim shavua echad. And he's gonna have a bris for one shavua. Shavua here doesn't mean a week; it means a shmita cycle. And that they're gonna get punished because they left over. They left the bris that they made with Hashem. But whatever it is, you see that there was nobody in Eretz Yisrael for 52 years minimum. So how could you say that? And we said the pasuk before that said that Binyamin was in Eretz Yisrael. What was the lashon? Ad hayom hazeh. So how could it be? Clearly, ad hayom hazeh does not mean forever. So that's a kasha. So Amalei hachaksiv sham. Right here it says sham, and hasam like ksiv sham. And over there it doesn't say sham. So ad hayom hazeh means that it's going to be there permanently. So by the Aron it says sham, so therefore that means it's there forever. Saying what else on that? When it says sham, does that mean it's forever? Meisvei, so he has the kashman of Raisa, mehem b'nei Shimon. Some of them from the b'nei Shimon, hochu lahar seir anoshim chamish meyas. 500 men went up to Har Seir. Platio, Unario, Urafayu, Uzia, B'nei Yishi B'Rosham, and those are the names of the people that went at the head of them. But Yaakov was Sheiris Afleitul Amalek. And they knocked out whoever was survived from Amalek. And they're living there until this day, right? And it says Sham ad hayom hazeh, so that means that it should be forever. Kfar Olas and Cherev Melech Ashur Bilbul Kol, but we know that Melech Ashur came and mixed up all the lands. So he made everybody, he spread everybody out all over the place. Shenemar va'asi gvules amim, vasidaseyim, vasudaseyim sasi. Right? He took away all the boundaries, and whatever valuables they had, he took. So you see that it can't possibly be forever. It can't be that Shimon, who were on Har Seir, can't be forever. So when it says tiyufta, so that's a tiyufta. So therefore, we say that sham la'olam va'ed doesn't mean forever. Okay, so we slug that up that the Aron could possibly be there forever. Some, even though I think it's a kasha, but I don't think he's changing his opinion that the Aron is still buried under the Beis Hamikdash. Zomar Rav Nachman, Tana, Aron belishkas dir ha'etzim hayaganus. The Aron was hiding in the room with the wood, right? Where they used to have a room with the wood that we learned this. I don't even know when we learned this. Maybe in Shkolim. And then the kohanim who had a mum, you would go through the wood to see if there's worms. So that was the special lishka. So in there is where the Aron was hiding, or under it, right? Doesn't say under, but it says in there. But we can see from the Gemara that it can't be that it was actually in there. So there was a story with a kohen who was busy, right? He was busy going through the wood, and he looked at the floor, right? It's like a mystery novel. It says they looked at the floor and it looked a little different. And he went and told his friend, he wasn't able to even tell him what was going on until he passed away. Okay, I can't say I understand exactly that there was only one guy that ever noticed that the floor looked different than the rest. Okay, they
couldn't make the floor look perfect so that no one would have to die over this.
Right, that's another question. All right, very good. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't understand these Gemaras. But everybody knew that this guy found the place for the Aron. Okay, so my Hava Ovid. Yeah, so what was he doing? So Rav Chelboy Mesasik b'karduma haya. He was busy with the kardum, his axe, right? I don't know why that's also. Why is this so important to the story? Fine. Okay, Tana Dvei Rabbi Shmuel. So the Dvei Rabbi Shmuel learned Shnei kohanim bali mum and hayu masliim be'etzim. There were two kohanim who were bali mum. Those are the ones that took out the worms. V'nishmatu karduma shel echad mehem v'nafla sham. And the axe from one of them fell. And a fire came out wherever it fell and swallowed it up. So, so that's clearly something holy over there that didn't want anything getting in the way. Yeah, fine. Rabbi Yehuda. Now we get back to the poles that held up the Aron. So Yehuda Rami, he says a stira. Ksiva yiru rashi habadim. It says, and they looked at the ends of the badim, right? Meaning they were able to see the ends of the, right? There were two poles that held up the Aron, right? So they were able to see it. Uksiv lo yiru hachutza. And they were never lo yiro is the right pronunciation. They wrote lo yiro hachutza. They were not seen on the outside. So were they able to see the sticks sticking out of the Kodesh HaKadoshim or not? Okay, tzad. What must it be? Nirin ve'ein nirin. Right? It must be if they were seen, but they weren't seen. What does that mean? Tani nami achz we learned the price of yaru rashi habadim ve'yero yad rashi habadim, and they were able to see the ends of the poles. Yachalayu zazim v'kaiman. So you think that the poles never moved because they were always able to see it. Tamaler v'yarichu habadim, that they made the badim longer. Yeah, meaning they're allowed to move it back and forth on the Aron, but they can't take them off. You take them off, then you're chayiv. What do you call it? It's allowed. So
that means
what?
That they move. That means that they moved the badim, or they made them longer.
I think I don't think they made them longer. I think the pshat is that they were able to move them around. How are you making them longer?
They made new badim.
They made new ones. How you put new ones without taking off the old ones?
You slide them in like the lechem upon him.
You do lechem upon him? I don't know.
Otherwise, I mean, stamazai. Why would they be noticed? The Kodesh Kodashim in the Beis Hamikdash was Esrim al Esrim. It was 20 by 20.
Right.
The length of the badim was 10. Why on earth would they hit the paraychas?
I don't know. I hear.
If they would have moved them. But if they would have moved them, if the Aron was in the middle, okay, I would explain my question. If the Aron was smack in the middle of the Kodesh Kodashim and the badim were 10 amas, and they moved the badim towards the paraychas, they would have fallen out of the Aron. They're not long enough.
Right. So I don't know.
They wanted them to be noticed, obviously.
Then they would have fallen out. The Aron was in the middle of the Kodesh Kodashim. That's
I don't know where the Aron was, but the bottom went through the paraychas. They stuck into the paraychas. They obviously did it on purpose for whatever reason. Whatever reason they wanted, that's why they did it. It's the Gemara is telling you the bottom stuck out in the paraychas. Yeah, so you figure out the rest. But they wanted to do it, so they did it. No.
Okay. I mean,
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I
don't know. Yeah. Let's. We're a little late, so stay on, Gershon, after, and we'll discuss it. But I think could be weiter. It might be clear. Let's see. Anyways, we have juicy stuff to do. Anyways, before not juicy, whatever. Very interesting stuff that really doesn't have shot. Anyways, they made it longer. So you're saying that they extended it. I think that they moved it. Okay, whatever it is. So and you would think that the poles, if they make it longer, they're going to go right through the paraychas, and they go out. Which again, this whole Gemara is, what do you mean? How could it be? There was no Aron in the Bayesheni, right? And there was no Aron in the Bayesheni, but there was a paraycha, and there was no paraychas in the Bayes Rishon, which the Gemara already asked, right?
And this pasuk is by the Bayes Rishon.
No, the Gemara is going to ask this in a minute, but this whole thing is whatever. Let's wait till we get to there. Yeah. Anyway, so Yahu Yumakar Paraychas V'Yatz, and you would think that it would tear the paraychas and it would go out that way. You're not allowed, you can't let it be seen outside. Okay, Tzad. What does it mean? What it is that the poles stuck through the pareichas, but it didn't rip the pareichas. They were just sticking out from the pareichas. Right? So Rashi says, what do you mean? So Rashi says that there was an opening even in the Bayis Rishon to the Kodesh HaKadoshim. There was just a pareichas in front of it. So that's the pareichas that we're talking about. V'nirin, and what does it look like? V'nirin kishnei dadei isha, right? It looks like the two breasts of a woman that sticks out. Shenemar tzror hamor doidi li bein shodai yolin. Right? Tzror hamor is a bundle of mor, whatever that is, that's loved, and it sits between the breasts. Yeah. So you see that's what the ketores goes. The ketores is mar, and that goes in between the two poles, which represents breasts. Okay. Why they couldn't find another mashal for this? Okay, that's the whole Shir Hashirim shtickle Torah with this. Fine. Amar of Katina. Right. B'shasha Yisrael oilen l'regel. When Klal Yisrael was oilen l'regel, magalon lemes aparayches. The kohanim would roll up the pareichas and they would show them the kruvim, which were mu'urim, were literally means mixed. Well, I don't know if it means mixed exactly. That's mu'ravim, but basically it was a male and a female. The kruvim
joined together.
They were joined mu'urim. Okay, so yeah,
so they would joined together.
Joined.
They were hugging.
Okay, so what it was?
They were hugging each other. No,
right. They turned around and they hugged each other. It was a nace. It was another nace that they hugged each other, right? Va'imrim lahen, and it said to them, "Ruchi baskam lefnei hamakom." Show the look how much you're loved in front of hamakom. Kechiba zachar necheva, as loved as you have the love between a male and a female. Yeah, so that's what they did. By the island was oiler regel. So Maser Rav Chisda has the kasha, right? You're not allowed to see the kodesh.
So 1 second, when somebody, okay, never mind.
Oh, okay. So v'lo yavoy l'ris kavalas hakodesh. Rami Yehuda Amarav b'shas achnasas kalim lenartik shalehen. What is that talking about? That's when the Revi'im would put the kalim into their not bundles. What do you call it? Into their cases. They had to travel. Yeah.
Did they look like children, the kruvim, or they look like adults?
I don't know that they say I don't know they say
because it's two different. Gemara is saying the love of a man and a woman, or zach and nekeva. The love of a zach and nekeva adults is different than the love of a boy and a girl child.
Right, I hear that. I don't know. It's from here. It sounds like adults, right? That's what it seems.
I always thought it was children. Okay, that's right.
I think that's what's developed. It's accepted that it's. I think it's that it's children, but I don't know. Anyways, so it says that the Levium were not allowed to look at the kalim when they were putting it into their packages in order to travel. Right. So if the Levium, when they're bundling, when they're getting the Mishkan. When the Mishkan traveled, they weren't allowed to look. So how could you say that the kohanim showed it to Klal Yisrael? So Rav Nachman, mashal l'kala, it's a mashal to a kala. Calls Machiva Beis Avia when she's engaged, so she's still in her father's house. Tznuah mibayla, she's still a tznuah from her husband. Kivan shabasa lebeis chamia, but once she gets married and she moves into her father-in-law's house, then ain't a tznuah mibayla. She's no longer tznuah mibayla. So that's why when Klal Yisrael was still traveling in the Midbar. So they were not yet, they were only engaged to Hashem, which could have a whole bunch of different kashas with that, but they were still only engaged. So Mamela, it was tznuah. Once they got to the Beis Hamikdash and they were married, so then they could already look at the Aron. So then Maser Rav Chana bar Rav Katina, Maisa b'koyin echad shoyim misasik, right? So he said that whole story with he was busy and then he died. So Amrlei, so what's the kasha, right? So obviously he was not allowed to see the Aron. That's why he died. So what's the pshat? Right? Why did he die for? He would be allowed to see the Aron. Right? Why did that kohen who found the miscolored floorboard die? That was at Beis Hamikdash. Amalei niskarsha ka'amrit. You're talking about divorce. Niskarsha chazu l'chivas arishan. If they got divorced and they got remarried, you have to start the relationship again. So since Klal Yisrael went off to Galus, that means that's sort of like that's a
divorce.
That's a divorce, and now they got back together. So it's taking time for them to get back that relationship. Fine. So now the Gemara says, what are we talking about? If you say it's talking about the first Beis Hamikdash, was there a parayches? Al Mikdash Sheni. So it's a Mikdash Sheni. Mihava kruvim. Was there kruvim? So what is this talking about? That they showed it to the Oile Regalim. They picked up the parayches. So the Oilam says, so Oilam b'Mikdash Rishon really is talking about the first Beis Hamikdash. Shuma parayches the Bavi. It's talking about the parayches of the other doors, right? Damar, what does that mean? Damar Abzeir Omer Rav Shloisha as the parayches hayu b'Mikdash. There were 13 parayches in the Beis Hamikdash. Shiva Keneged Shiva Sharim, 7 with the 7 gates that were in the what do you call it? In Azara. Shtayim achas lepischa shel heichal v'achas lepischa shel ulam. Then there were another 2. One was the opening of the heichal, and one is the opening of the ulam. Shtayim b'dvir, shtayim b'keneged balea, and then the Baaliyah actually. Sorry, two were by the dvir, which we said is the Kodesh Kodashim, and Shtayim Keneged Baaliyah, that opposite where they went upstairs. Whatever it is, so that's the parayches that they were talking about. Rav Achar Yaakov Amri has a different teretz. Lo'ilam b'Mikdash Sheni. Really talking about the Mikdash Sheni. Ukruvim du tzurasa havakaymi. What they had was even though they didn't have the kruvim, they didn't have the Aron, but they had paintings of the kruvim. Right? A tzura is a painting. They had it on the walls of the Kodesh Kodashim. The Sives called Kiros Abayis Mesav Kala Kruvim Vesmiras Pture Tzitzim. They had all sorts of paintings of the kruvim and trees, palm trees, and flowers, etc. Vitzipazov, and they had gold. It was gold. It was lined with gold. Meisha miyushar ala mechuka, and it was smoothed out over the drawings. Uksiv, and then it says Kemar ish vilayas, and it says it went along with the men. My Kemar ish vilayas. What does that mean? That it went along. Amar Rabba bar of Shila on Tam Beis Keish Hamaura belavia Shalai. It's a man who has a levaya, somebody to go along with him, right? So which Rashi says, it looks like a man and a woman who are holding hands, right? So that's what was shown in the Beis Hamikdash, right? So whatever it is, you see that they had these pictures on the walls in the Bayis Sheni, and they pulled that up to show it to Klal Yisrael how much love that Hashem had for them b'shas when they were oil regal. So Amar Reish Lakish, when the Goyim went into the heichal by the Churban, ro kruvim ma'urin zerzeh. They saw the kruvim holding on to each other, right? Haitzi on the shuk. They took them out to the shuk. Yeah. Now this can't be talking about the Aron because we already had that machlokes whether it went into Galus. So it's talking about the pictures, right? Haitzi on the shuk. They took it out to the shuk va'amru, and they said Yisrael halalu shubrachasan baracha v'kulalasan klala. These Yidden, and you see the respect that they had for Yidden even when they were destroying the Beis Hamikdash. They said the Yidden whose bracha is a bracha and the klala is a klala yasku b'dvaram halalu. They're Isaac in these type of things in their holiest place. They have pictures of or whatever engravings of men hugging women. Miyad hizilam. So what they did is they made them zol. They cheapened them. They destroyed them. Shenemar kol mechabdeh hizilua kiro ervasa. Anybody who had any sort of covered, because they saw the erva, so they made it. They were mechalolit, right? Okay, fine. So that's that. So for Shasia, Haisa Nikres, and the stone that was there was called Evan Shasia. Tana. So we learned Shemimenu Hushsas Ha'olam. From that rock, from that area, that's where the whole world came from. Tanan Commander Omar. We learned like this that Mitzion Nivra Olam, that we learned this way that from the Tzion, which I guess this is where it's from. Tzion, the world was created from Tzion. The Tani Rabbi Eliezer Aimer Olam Memtzeisa Nivra. The world was created from the middle. Shenemar Batzekes Afar Lemutzak Uragavim Yudubaku. They poured out dirt, right? and then everything stuck to it, right? Meaning there was a little clump of dirt, and then it started attaching. That's how the world is created. Rabbi Yeshua, this is a deep philosophical Gemara right here. Rabbi Yeshua, it's not from the middle. The world is created from the outsides. Shenemar kilasheleg yoimer heavy eretz v'geshem motor v'geshem mitris uzoi. Right. So there's going to be snow, and then there's from rain, and then there's going to be and then strong rain. Right, sort of like we just had. Right. Rabbi Yitzchak Nafcha Amar, he said a different shot. Evan Yara Kodesh Baruch Hu b'yam. Hashem put a stone into the ocean. Mimenu Nishtas Ha'olam, and from there the world was built. Shenemar Alma Adoniyah Hatva Aymiyara Evan Pinasa. And where, meaning the Gemara, the pasuk is asking a question: where did it sink its main places, and where did it put down the Evan Pina? Right, the Evan Pina means the, how do you call it, the cornerstone. So where was that place? So that's when he built it up on the city. The Chum say a different shot. Back to they're not saying different. They're going back with the original shot that it was created from Tzion. Shenemar Mizmar La'asaf Kela Lihim Hashem. Mizmar La'asaf, that Hashem is a God. Right? And he said Mitzion Michlal Yofi. From Tzion is going to be that's where all the beautiful thing is going to come from. Mimenu Michlal Yofi. From Tzion is going to be the beauty of the world. So you see that the beauty of the world was created from Tzion. Fine. Tani Rebbe Eliezer Agadol Oimer, Eila Tolis Hashemayim, Ba'aretz Bihi Baram. Right? These are the generations of the world when it was created. B'yom Asais Hashem Elikim Eretz Hashemayim, on the day that Hashem created the world, Tol Hashemayim Mishemayim Nivru. So literally means the whatever came out from the Shemayim was created from Shemayim. Right? Meaning the Rashi says the sun and the moon and the stars. Anything that was created on the world came from the world, from the earth. That's Shita Rebbe Eliezer. They were both created from Tzion. Mizmar Shenemar Mizmar La'asaf Kel Kim Hashem Diber Vayikra Eretz Mimizach Shemesh Ad Vayeh. So it says it came from the east till where it sets. Vaymer Mitzion Mechlal Yofi Elikim Hayfia. That Mitzion, the beauty comes from Tzion. Mimenu Michlal Yofi Shel Olam. From Tzion comes out the beauty of the world. So the bottom line is we have multiple Tanoim who have machlokes exactly where the site of the world was created. Okay, I apologize for starting and going this fast, but okay, we got it in.
Tomorrow night?
It's not really understandable anyways, this Gemara, so at least to me. Tomorrow night I figure about 5-2, give or take.
So wait a second.
Is your mother home?
Not just understandable?
My mother's not home. What?
Agadita is not understandable, a simple shot?
What? Agadita?
Yeah.
He's joking.
Oh,
Good Shabbos.
All right, good Shabbos. Good Shabbos.
Why was that a joke? In general, Agadita is not easy to understand.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No,
He's
because
saying this Agadita is not easy to understand. No,
Agadita
is easy to understand.
That's
what his joke was.
Doctor, your mother paid for medical school.
That's what his joke was. Good Shabbos.
Hey,
the point is that the Alei Shor says in Agadita they try to hide the truth. In Halacha they try to reveal it. That's the difference.
There is a reason.
Yeah,
I hear. I know, but this is even as this Agadita is understandable. The machlokes, what the machlokes is, it's understandable. But what does it mean that he threw a stone into the earth and this and
that's
that?
what I mean. Right, that's what I mean. It's the words are understandable, but what
the words are understandable. That pasuk is Soiser itself. He created the world by throwing a rock into the sea, which is part of the world.
What's wrong with that?
It means they can't be created already in order to create it.
Have a good Shabbos. It's our version of a kohanim. Look up what a kohanim is. It's the Jewish version of a kohanim.
No, they did not have.
Have a good Shabbos.
Have a good Shabbos, Doc. It's the Yankiv.
Yes, go ahead.
Let's talk the Yiddish answer, the Shara Kedusha answer to the Romans Taina.
What do you say? What's the answer?
And then the words.
I wish we could have had time to be marif in this. Isn't that the question we all have?
What do you mean?
What is the comparison? I understand the whole Shir Hashirim, the most Kaddish place, and we're comparing to male. Is that not here? Who I understand? In our generation, we don't even allow you to say a woman's name, right?
I mean, I think it's a raya that we have. Well, is this still being recorded? Maybe it's not such a good idea.
I don't care, but
I mean, Lania's daiti, it's a raya that we have things backwards today. We're focused on all the wrong things.
You're 100% correct.
Tznius is backwards, Erva's backwards, nothing, whatever, yeah. There's a reason they're a big Hasidish paiskim that are Mekel and Nida and Machmir in Yichud.
It's a whole schmooze here. Right?
Yeah. I don't understand it. There's some things that just and we keep going further. I had a schmooze today with a Rav. I'm not going to say his name, so the recording doesn't matter. Yeah. I had a schmooze today with a Rav. But a guy Rav who paskins halacha for he's a chashuv yid.
Can I interrupt for 1 second? I'm sorry. Rabbi Tzakov, do you have an extra?
What are you nervous about, Naftali? What are you nervous about?
No, I'm not nervous. My shalom pot just cracked. Do you have an extra shalom pot?
Of course we have an extra shalom pot.
Families.
Of course.
Can I come by and pick it up? I figured.
No, we can. I could send somebody to you. Yosef, can you bring a shalom pot to the liner, please? Ask Miriam. He needs a shalom pot. Miriam.
What size?
Thank you.
What size?
Doesn't make a difference what size.
Can we send the shalom pot over there?
The insert cracked. The insert cracked. While it's in there, we noticed smoke coming out, and I tried to figure out why. The insert cracked, and it's leaking into the outer part.
Oh wow.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you. I just want to.
No problem at all.
I just figured the Steins. That's they have an extra control.
I don't know. Ask her. Can you go discuss it with Miriam? They're making early Shabbos. Can you get off the couch?
I can come. I'll come to you. I'll come to you.
Somebody needs a favor. Get off find out which one you should take. When he gets off the couch, he's gonna help you, Naftali. Which one? He doesn't care. I don't know what speed dial is on a crock pot. A dial, you mean? Which one? Naftali, you there? He hung up already, Naftali?
I'm muted by mistake. I'm here.
We have one that has no dial, so you won't know if it's low, high, or whatever. Or
okay.
So then go get him one from Bubby's. Why should you take this one?
I just come over. I'll be over in 5 minutes.
You'll get it eventually. He's not moving. He's sitting on the couch.
I'm coming to you.
Naftali's coming.
Naftali, you'll be fast to getting it yourself.
Yeah, I'm coming.
And you'll have
the one from Bubby's
left.
What?
And you'll have more challah left.
Okay, he doesn't know where you're forgetting Naftali. He's in that mood. He ain't doing it. So I guess
I'm coming. I'm coming.
Yes. Okay, go find him the crock pot meanwhile. How's that?
Thank you.
Make sure he knows where it is. You sure it's on Bubby's count? You sure? Unbelievable. He's coming here. Forget it. Yeah, go Gershon. I got somebody now clicking in that's stuck on the George Washevich for states. Yeah. What? Yeah. So what are you saying, Gershon?
No, I was discussing with a paisik today the lace caps, and he was mamish. I asked him, how can you say it's me'ikar adin? And he didn't himself understand that he was confusing in Yanei Kedusha with psak halacha.
Right.
They mamish don't understand it. It's mind-boggling. But the words he said were like straight out of Shara Kedusha.
Yeah.
The words he was using were like straight out of Shara Kedusha and wherever. And he's paskening halacha l'maisa like that. It's just, I don't know.
It's a disaster, yeah.
I'd be fine if they were honest about it. Let the place.
This is a guy in Cleveland or this is a guy in New York?
No, New York.
I'm telling you, it's in a Haredi neighborhood.
Why can't they be honest? Yeah, a real Rav. I mean, he's whatever. I don't understand. Why are they not honest with themselves? So Paskin, I'm fine with you Paskining, may Ikar Adin. Paskin may Ikar Adin that lace caps are usher. But be honest that it's from Shara Kedusha. It's not Sneas Erva, it's none of that.
Right, right.
So fine, you can Paskin for your people that it's Ikar Adin.
They say, listen, somebody told me today, Rabbi, before Shamer Paskins, it's Mamish and Issa Darais.
Else what? Because
if you're trying to make it look like your real hair, then yeah.
That's Maris Ayin at best. Why is that Issa Daraisa? That's exactly what Ramosha said. You can't make him a Maris Ayin on this.
Yeah.
I just say it's an one thing, if you say it's an Issa Daraisa, I'll Shara Kedusha, make up an Issa Daraisa, fine. You want to say it's Usr Meikar Adin because it's not a Yiddish thing. Fine.
Right.
But don't say it's Sarba Isha Erva. That it's not.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I would love to hear from them. Exactly. I'd like to see a tshuva.
Yeah,
like
100%. The tshuva needs to be written. Yeah. But I all these rabbanim, what are they going to do, Lamaisa, when the Beis Hamikdash comes back? They're going to fall flat on their faces when every man knows when his neighbor's wife is going to mikvah? Yeah. Because today you have to bend over backwards to make things happen so that a woman doesn't get. Well, I don't understand.
Did you hear the Rebbe Berkowitz recording?
No.
Oh,
you have it?
To you right now. I gotta hang up because I'm sending it to you right now.
Okay, beautiful.
You can comment to me because I gotta call these guys. All right. Shabbat shalom.
Yeah. Have a good Shabbos.
Right. Okay, good Shabbos.
Also.
All right. Are you serious?
That was making me so nauseous.